Well, I appreciate my friend Senator Graham for arranging this press conference. He's exactly right. What is currently a flood of humanity coming across the border is getting ready to become a tsunami. And because the tool that the Biden administration has used, Title 42, the pandemic law, the public health law, is going to expire. And unless they put something else in its place to plug that hole, you're going to continue to see more and more people encouraged by the prospect of being able to successfully make it across the border into the interior of the United States. It is astonishing to me how many people in the Biden administration will lie about the severity of this problem, who will try to downplay it, like Secretary Mayorkas, who said the border is secure. Well, if the border is secure, why is President Biden sending 1,500 active duty military down to the border? When they can't enforce immigration law, all they can do is change diapers and push paper. In other words, under the law, they can only perform administrative functions. But this disaster has so many different effects. Just think for a minute about the 1.2 million gotaways, people that did not turn them in and claim asylum. If you claim asylum, you're going to be allowed to go to the interior of the country, perhaps never to be heard from again. So that's the reason people keep coming and saying the words they know they need to say, that they've been coached to say, to be able to successfully make their way into the interior of the country. Some places like New York, it's a 10-year wait before you can even begin immigration proceedings in front of an immigration judge. And then there's the drugs. 108,000 roughly American citizens died of drug overdoses last year. 71,000 of those fentanyl. I was in Carrollton Farmers Branch at a high school last week, listening to parents who were saying, you know, my child thought they were taking something like a Percocet or a Xanax, only to find out it was contaminated with fentanyl, basically a pencil lead. The tip of a pencil, a volume of fentanyl will take your life. That's why the Drug Enforcement Administration and others are trying to socialize the idea that one pill can kill. And then the last thing I'll mention is the unaccompanied children. Because of the way that unaccompanied children are treated under our system, effectively placed with sponsors in the interior of the United States, we know for a fact that Health and Human Services, that is in charge of that, has lost touch with tens of thousands of minor children. We're supposed to be protecting their safety. We're supposed to be looking after them. But the New York Times, for example, has run a couple of investigative stories pointing out that many of these children are being put into forced labor in violation of our child labor laws. Who knows how many of these children that the Biden administration has lost are in abusive family situations, been sexually assaulted, recruited into gangs. All of this comes down to the Biden border crisis and the Biden administration's conscious decision not to enforce current laws and refusing to work with reasonable people to try to come up with solutions. About a year, maybe 2 years ago now, Senator Sinema and I and Tony Gonzalez and Henry Cuellar introduced the Bipartisan Border Solutions Act, another bill that we thought that if this got bad enough, that the Biden administration, like a drowning person, would look for a lifeline to grab a hold of. And we wanted to provide them with a bipartisan, bicameral bill to begin that discussion. But they refused even that. So I appreciate Senator Graham taking the lead on this issue. This is a bad situation that's about to get much, much worse. And the answer is not 1,500 active duty service members. They didn't join the military. They go to the border and push paper and change diapers. But under the law, that's all they can do is perform administrative functions. They can't actually even enforce the immigration law. So this is a symbolic move that has zero meaning when it comes to changing the status quo. And we're here to say, if you think things are bad now, they're going to get worse come May the 11th. What is now a flood is going to turn into a tsunami.